Police investigators said the audio was the worst thing they had ever heard, not because of the screams, but because of how calm the killers sounded in the background, while a terrified child begged for mercy. The man recording the tape quietly gave instructions to his girlfriend, almost like they were filming a movie scene, and when the police searched their house, they discovered something even more disturbing. The murders weren't random. Every victim, every detail, every scream had been carefully documented inside notebooks, because the killers believed they weren't just committing crimes, they believed they were creating art. This is the story of Ian Brady and Myra Hindley, the couple who turned murder into obsession and terrified all of England. If you saw Ian Brady in public, you probably wouldn't look at him twice. Quiet, well-spoken, obsessed with books and philosophy, the kind of man who could spend hours talking about literature, psychology, and human nature. And standing beside him was Myra Hindley, a shy young woman with blonde hair and a calm smile. To neighbors, they looked normal, but behind closed doors, something deeply disturbing was growing between them. Not love, not passion, control, obsession, and eventually, a shared fascination with death. Ian Brady was born in Scotland in 1938. He never knew his real father, and as a child, he was abandoned by his mother and placed into foster care. That feeling of rejection followed him everywhere. Teachers described him as isolated, cold, emotionally distant, but what truly frightened people was his behavior around animals. He tortured them, burned them, killed them, just to watch what he felt afterward. And while other teenagers spent time making friends, Ian spent his time reading about violence, power, and extremist ideologies. He believed most people were weak, that morality was fake, and that society's rules only existed to control intelligent people. But despite all of this, Ian was incredibly charismatic, especially to one person. Myra Hindley met Ian while working at a chemical factory in Manchester. She was only 16 years old. Her childhood had also been filled with violence. Her father was aggressive, controlling, and unpredictable, and because of that, Myra grew up craving approval. The moment she met Ian, she became fascinated by him, the way he spoke, the way he analyzed people, the calm confidence he carried everywhere. It felt different, dangerous, almost hypnotic, and Ian noticed that immediately. He slowly began reshaping her personality. Her clothes changed, her behavior changed, even her appearance changed. She dyed her hair blonde because Ian admired what he called Aryan beauty. Little by little, Myra stopped becoming herself and started becoming whatever Ian wanted her to be. At first, their relationship looked normal. Books, movies, late-night conversations about philosophy and religion. But underneath all of that, something darker was forming. Ian became obsessed with one idea: the perfect murder, a crime so carefully planned, so psychologically precise, that nobody could ever solve it. And for Myra, the idea became addictive, because every time she followed Ian deeper into darkness, he rewarded her with affection, attention, validation, the one thing she had searched for her entire life. Together, they slowly built their own reality, a world where murder wasn't evil, it was intellectual, beautiful, almost artistic. Summer, 1963. The couple decided it was finally time. Their plan was terrifyingly simple. Myra would drive through the streets looking for vulnerable victims. Young, alone, easy to manipulate, and Ian would wait somewhere isolated, hidden from view. That evening, they found 16-year-old Pauline Reed walking alone. Myra approached the young girl casually, friendly smile, soft voice, no signs of danger. Within minutes, Pauline entered the car willingly. She had no idea she was stepping into a nightmare. The couple drove towards Saddleworth Moor, a massive, isolated moorland outside Manchester. Cold wind, heavy fog. Nothing but silence for miles, the perfect place for someone to disappear forever. We won't describe what happened in detail, but investigators later said the crime scene revealed extreme psychological cruelty. Ian didn't just want control over his victims, he wanted fear. Terror itself fascinated him, and after Pauline died, something shocking happened. Instead of panicking, the couple felt excitement, relief, power. For Ian, the murder proved his theory, and for Myra, it became the moment she fully crossed the line. There was no going back anymore. Over the next 2 years, children and teenagers began disappearing across Manchester, one after another. The police had almost nothing, no witnesses, no forensic evidence, no clear connection between the victims, and while families desperately searched for answers, Ian and Myra were documenting everything. They kept detailed notes about the murders, the victims, the planning, even their own emotions during the crimes. But the most disturbing discovery came later: audio tapes, recordings of terrified victims crying and begging, while the couple calmly spoke in the background. Those tapes horrified experienced detectives. Some officers reportedly had to stop listening halfway through. The terrifying thing about Ian Brady wasn't rage, it was how calm he remained. He genuinely believed he was intellectually superior to everyone around him. He saw murder as philosophy, as proof that ordinary morality did not apply to him. And over time, Myra adopted the same mindset. The two of them stopped seeing victims as human beings. They became subjects, characters inside Ian's fantasy about creating the perfect crime. That's what made them so dangerous. Not impulsive violence, but cold, organized thinking. Like many serial killers, Ian eventually became too confident, and confidence creates mistakes. In 1965, the couple murdered 17-year-old Edward Evans inside their own home. But this time, somebody else saw the aftermath. David Smith, Myra's brother-in-law. Ian trusted him, even admired him. When David entered the house, he immediately realized something was horribly wrong: a dead body, blood everywhere, an axe nearby, and Ian calmly asking for help disposing of the corpse. David left the house in complete shock, and the next morning, he went to the police. Police raided the house almost immediately. What they found stunned the entire country: photographs, notes, personal belongings from victims, and recordings connected to the murders. Then investigators searched Saddleworth Moor. Beneath the wet earth and thick grass, they discovered buried bodies, children, teenagers, victims who had vanished years earlier. Britain was horrified. Newspapers gave them a name the country would never forget: the Moors murderers. In 1966, Ian Brady and Myra Hindley were sentenced to life in prison, but even after their conviction, the fear never completely disappeared, because investigators believed there could still be more victims hidden somewhere inside the moors. The scariest part of this story isn't the violence, it's how ordinary they looked. Ian Brady wasn't a monster hiding in the shadows. He was intelligent, educated, articulate, and Myra Hindley wasn't born evil. She slowly surrendered her morality, piece by piece, until nothing remained. That's what makes this case unforgettable, not just what they did, but what they became together. Because sometimes, evil doesn't arrive with rage or madness. Sometimes, it hides behind intelligence, behind charm, behind people who look completely ordinary. And maybe that's what makes stories like this so disturbing. They remind us that monsters are rarely born. Sometimes, they are created. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more dark psychological cases like this one, don't forget to subscribe. And let me know in the comments, do you believe people like Ian Brady are born evil or shaped by the world around them?